Been a really long time since I've recorded a chess video for the YouTube channel, so hopefully I remember how to do this. I wanted to make a video about blindfold chess today. I have this advisor at the middle school, this really nice high school chess player, really good player, Coleman, and he was asking me if all like international masters knew how to play blindfold chess, and I said, yeah, I think that I mean, you can never say all, but I think it's safe to assume that most can. And I was trying to show that even players below international masters, such as myself, can also play a little bit of blindfold chess. So first thing I want to show everyone how to get to the blindfold chess settings. So if you put your mouse over this cogwheel here and you click on the all settings button, it'll take you to the settings page, of course. So you click on board and pieces. And then I always like the Neo pieces. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a Matrix fan. And you want to go to blindfold chess, which is right in front of my face. And then yeah, you see the pieces disappear, and then click on save. So I've been playing this bot Holly. I think it's one of the holiday bots. I think Holly's been a good opponent for me, to be honest. So I think 1800 is a challenging rating for me, but a level that I should be successful at. And then also I noticed that this bot plays kind of a little bit like wild moves, especially in the opening. So it gives you like very interesting positions, in my opinion, for blindfold chess. Other thing I'll say about blindfold chess is I really think you should try to play openings that you don't normally play. And this is my opinion, but the reason for that is I think you should try to get some positions that you don't have memorized in your head, because the whole point of blindfold chess is to kind of expand your horizons a bit. So yeah, so like I could play this move e4 and go back into the modern or perk defense, which I might end up doing. Like I said, I'm trying to play some openings that I don't typically play. Also, the purpose of this video is not, I'm not expecting like most of the people watching to be able to follow the game without the pieces. I probably will do a brief review after the game with the pieces back. But I just want to encourage like some students, if they're interested, maybe play a little bit of blindfold chess, because it is very good for your board visualization. So like, all right, like this move f5 is a pretty unconventional move here. So like I said, I think Holly is a good bot to play against, because their opening moves are pretty unexpected a lot of times. Like this move f5 is very unexpected. One thing I've been discovering from playing, like kind of replaying blindfold chess recently, is that I don't have too much of a problem with where the pieces are located, but the pawns seem to be a little bit fuzzy for me occasionally. And I do think I used to be much better at blindfold chess, which is another reason why I want to practice to try to get better. Another thing I'll say is that a lot of people, like traditionalists, they don't really like playing blindfold chess. We could actually see the board. They really think it should all be in the mind. Like maybe I would, for example, I wouldn't see the board. I would just see my opponent's moves, and then that would kind of be how the blindfold game would go. So there is some like debate about this. Like personally, it is a lot easier with seeing the board versus having to do everything in your head. Um, but again, I'll go a little bit easy on myself, since it's been a while since I really dabbled in blindfold chess seriously. Yeah, see, I already didn't move my e-pawn, and I'm trying to make a move that's illegal, which is not good. Okay, so we can play a little bit more aggressive with bishop g5. But bishop g5, I think if we go h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, f4, my bishop is gonna get trapped here. There's some lines where you can, like in the Dutch, where you can sort of play like an early e3 and like prepare queen h5. But with the black knight on f6, I don't like that. We're not in that those lines at all. Yeah, there's some lines where it's actually like a quick checkmate. I think that would be kind of hard to visualize here. So let's not do that. All right, so let's just go e3 with maybe the idea of developing the bishop to d3 or e2 and try to castle. So they played knight b d7. So they have a pawn on d6, f5, g6, and they develop the two knights to d7 and f6 here. All right, so I think just yeah, I think we'll just go with my previous idea. Let's stick with bishop. See, the problem with bishop d3 is with the fianchetto type of structure here. The bishop is sort of running into granite, as they say. But I do want to prevent maybe the knight from jumping into e4. So I'll play knight bishop d3 here. Okay, e5. Okay, so our opponent's going for a pawn break. So I have pawns on d4, c4, e3. I have a knight on f3 and the bishop on d3, so I don't want to allow e4, because that's going to fork the bishop and knight here. So I feel I'm sort of obligated to take. Although I realize my opponent, yeah, these are like the sneak, like with side of the board, I don't think I would miss these ideas too much, but with outside, it's a little bit sneaky here. Because they're going to take back with the D pawn, I presume, and then they're going to have the same threat again. You've taken the first piece, but don't get too comfortable. All right, don't worry about it. I don't feel that comfortable. This move E5 is annoying. Um, hmm. Yeah, so I already have some questions to solve here that I don't know if I'm prepared to solve, but I am going to try to make a conscious note of being a little bit better, being aware of where the pawns are. So if I move my bishop, which I think I'm going to do, that does allow potential queen trade here, since we did both sides traded the pawns in the d file, so now the d file is an open file. Um, yeah, so I don't think I got too much out of the opening so far. And again, that's one of the reasons I like playing the 1800 level bot is, yeah, probably some games I shouldn't really get too much out of the opening. Yeah, bishop d3 is looking like a big mistake already. I should have probably put the bishop on e2 to avoid all this pawn to e4 nonsense. All right, yeah, so I think I'm going to go back to bishop e2. So that's a big loss of time, right? I'm moving the bishop twice in the opening. So they play e4 here. See my threat? No, I cannot see it. No, I can't. Okay, that's a joke. Oh, the queens weren't going to be traded because the knight was on d7. Okay, so that's the first thing I said. Well, maybe not the first, but the first thing I'm conscious of saying that I'm incorrect about is that there was no threat of trading the queens because, yeah, I forgot the knight was on d7 already. All right, so I think knight d4 seems very logical here. I think e4 is a little bit early, to be honest. The other thing I noticed about Holly just playing this bot a lot is they play these fianchetto moves, but without fianchettoing the bishop very early. Which for blindfold, like when you see g6, I'm just in my mind I'm kind of assuming bishop g7 is coming very soon, and when that move doesn't come, it gets a little bit confusing. So I have a pawn on c4 here. I have the pawn on e3. Oh, maybe instead of bishop e2, maybe I should have just played e4. That might have been the better move to gain some space. Okay, so I feel like I'm already making some inaccuracies here. So we'll go knight d4. I believe I have the threat of knight e6 now. Okay, so they play queen e7. I was trying to go knight e6 with the attacking the queen and the bishop. Okay, so I go queen e7. Okay, what I click? Okay, queen e7. I have the pawn on e3. So I think the whole point is just to stop knight e6. I could play a move like knight to b5, attacking the c7 pawn, which is undefended with the knight here, but that seems very slow to me because I think the knight can just move somewhere, and then the queen will defend c7. Okay, so let's be practical here. So they have queen on e7, bishop on f8, king on e8 here. Yeah, I don't see any reason why not to castle here. Like with the pawns on these squares, the light square bishop is a little bit blocked in for black here. All right, so castle seems reasonable. Okay, play c5. C5 to me gives a big hole on d6 square. The problem for me is my bishop is blocked inside of the pawn chain here. If I could get like a bishop to f4, I would be very happy because this d6 square again does feel very vulnerable to me, but that's not possible. So like I'm always asking the classes, what's the threat after c5? I almost did forget that the pawn is attacking my knight on d4 here. So I should do something about this. I still don't really like knight b5 that much, although it does feel more promising with getting the knight to d6. But there's a queen on e7, bishop on f8. I don't know if that's going to lead anywhere particularly useful. So I can't go back to f3. The pawn will take. Are there any tactics here? No, I think my pieces are too passive to really think about any tactics in this position. Yeah, I don't think the opening has gone very good for me. My bishop is passive. My knight is passive. Yeah, there's nothing about my position that I would say I'm thrilled about here. But I have a game, right? So that's all you could ask for. Yeah, I really don't like the way that this position has gone for me, though. Okay, so we'll go knight c2 and queen d6. All right, so there's been a lot of queen moves. Typically, you like to be able to punish this a little bit, but I don't really see how. Okay, so again, when we made the trade on e5, the d file opened up. We don't have any pieces on d2, d3, d4. or d5. So that means the queens are hitting each other. Maybe if this wasn't a blindfold game, I might make a different decision. But since the queen's a very tough piece to kind of keep track of, it does to me make some sense to trade the queens here, and the bishop will take back. And Holly gives me the first sarcastic, "Oh no, my queen," a la the great Eric Rosen, and then I'll take that. Okay, so I'm probably so we have the bishop on d6 unprotected. I still think this move c5 for black was very anti-positional because it gave me a lot of control of d5 and b5 squares. I'm really like confused what I'm supposed to do with this bishop though. That's kind of one of the big issues. But I don't see why I shouldn't pick up the tempo. Maybe rook d1, hit the bishop to me makes a lot of sense here. Also, we have an open file here, so why not control the open file? Okay, so went bishop e5. Kind of tempted to play something like f4 at some point. This pawn on e4 is really cramping my position here. Okay, so they went bishop e5. Okay, I'll play bishop d2, but yeah, again, my position is very, very passive here. I don't think black has achieved all that much either. I mean, the pawn on e4 is very, very annoying, but other than that, I wouldn't say they achieved too much. So they played the move a5, so I think they're trying to I think they're trying to develop the bishop to a6 perhaps. Um, I don't really know why that would be so good for them. I still have my bishop on e2 here. With my bishop on d2 though, I can't really move the knight. I don't like the pawn on b2 is hanging, so I could move the knight to a4, which is maybe what I end up doing here. Maybe I should go knight a3 and get this knight to b5. That maybe makes a little bit more sense here. I don't understand why they want the pawns on a5 and c5 to be honest, because now there's like a permanent hole on b5 here. And I believe they haven't moved the e pawn yet. Like I said, no, I'm sorry, they haven't moved the e pawn. E pawn's on e4. Yeah, pawns are by far the hardest piece for me to remember for some reason. I think I'm just a little bit out of practice. All right, so let's try. Maybe putting a knight on c4 would be a pretty nice square. Because they have a pawn on. Put the pawn on d6. Yeah, I think if I can get the knight, like this knight on c2 doesn't seem very like it's doing too much here. So I would like to. No, I still have my pawn on c4. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, the pawns are so bishop a6 maybe doesn't cause too much of a problem. I have my bishop, my pawn on c4 still. All right. So yeah, let's go knight a3. I don't really understand the point of a5. Okay, castle, and then we'll go knight h5. Okay, now they're just attacking with all the pawns. It's hard to grab pieces when you're wearing gloves. That's pretty funny. So h5, g6, f5, e4. All right, what do we want to do here? Oh, the bishop can't really move because the knight on is still here. If they move the bishop, I could just take the knight here. So yeah, it feels like they're creating some weakness. I think the computer doesn't know exactly what to do here either. So I guess that makes two of us. I guess we'll just keep building the tension. I don't know if I like rook ac1. The point of rook ac1 is I kind of just want to play b3. Even though the knight's protected by the other knight and the bishop, I don't want there to be like any lasting pins on the knight here. So I'm thinking I might want to go b3 at some point and just kind of solidify the c4 square. So we'll go rook ac1. Okay, bishop to b8. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is really a great, in my opinion, a great engine to um, play for blindfold chess because some of their moves are very hard to understand. I have no idea why they play bishop b8 here. I mean, yeah, this move is total mystery to me. So I don't have to worry about the b2 pawn anymore, which is nice because remember my previous idea was to go b3. Now that they took the bishop off this diagonal, b3 is unnecessary. I almost played knight d5 with the idea of take back with the rook, and now I just remember my bishop is still on d2 here. So I might actually play bishop e1 because I think if I can get my rook um, to d5, and then maybe rook ac1 was a waste of time. Maybe I should have just tried to get the rook to d1 in one turn. Um, so yeah, I think bishop e1 is another good waiting move. I really think I might try to play f3 at some point to break up this pawn center, and then with the bishop on e1, I can sort of maybe reroute it to g3 and offer a trade of bishops perhaps, because my dark square bishop has been a problem piece for most of the game here. Okay, so he went f4. Okay, f4 is a very aggressive move. So yeah, I think I'm going to take that. If they take with the bishop, I think I'm just going back to d2 and offering the trade of bishops. Yeah, I don't mind trading these two bishops at all. My dark square bishop has been a problem the whole game here. Okay, takes. Okay, thank you, Holly. And I'm assuming her name is a play on "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas." So I think that's where the name's going to come from. Okay, so we're making some. I think these trades are helping me, to be honest. Okay, knight e5. All right, this is the knights can also get a little bit tricky in this. Okay, so I traded here. So they have this pawn on e4 that can go to e3. Also, they're threatening. No, they're not really threatening knight d3. I could take and take. So I think they want to get the bishop involved. Now the bishop has a couple of open diagonals to move to. All right, what's going on here? My pawn on c4 is defended by the bishop, so that's good. My original idea was to play knight d5. Is that still an option I should be entertaining? So if they go here, take, bishop e6, then my c4 pawn looks very weak. All right, so knight e5. All right, so I think we're gonna double up the rooks here on the d file. Yeah, I don't see the threat, although. Okay, let me just take one more second. Sorry, not to bore the audience here. Okay, so we have pawns here, here, and black has pawns here. Okay, they traded the f pawn for my e pawn, and so they have pawns here and here. Okay, so is there anything I should be overly worried about? I think so. Yeah, I don't think my opponent created a threat with knight e5. That's the thing. The threats are so sneaky in blindfold chess. I miss the threats all the time, to be honest. It gets a little bit annoying. All right, so let's double up on the d file. Let's build the tension here and see what black wants to do. Okay, they did develop the bishop to d7. Okay, can I just? That's a strange. Oh, they have a knight on f6. Okay, I forgot about the knight on f6. Oh, I think I missed the other line after knight d5, knight takes, rook takes, bishop e6. The knight on e5 is hanging. I forgot about that. Okay, so they played bishop d7, which is a very passive move. Okay, let's jump in with the knight now. I think knight d5 makes a lot of sense. Oh, they have bishop takes b5. I forgot about that move as well. So I'm missing a lot of important moves here. Okay, so take with the rook. Bishop g4. Okay, so they have the pawn on. No, they don't have a pawn on d6. So, can I just take? Oh, if I take here, they're going to take here. Is that their idea? Oh no, they're hitting my bishop on e2. I have a bishop on e2 here. Yeah, it's so easy to forget. Hold on, can I take the knight and defend the bishop? No, because there's a pawn on e4 still. That's why I don't think f3 works either. Okay, but the pawn on e4 is hanging, right? If I go take, isn't that good for me? Yeah, the rooks haven't moved, right? The rooks are on f8 and a8 still. This is also, I think, yeah, probably like in a serious blindfold game, I shouldn't really go back and look at the moves, but yeah, well, again, I'm trying to have some fun here and not be take this too tough. No, I can't take the pawn on e4 though because my rook's on. So yeah, how am I going to take that pawn? Okay, that's not possible. All right, so we're going to trade here. I think the endgame is maybe maybe a little pleasant for me, just because they made so many weird pawn moves. But yeah, the pawn on c5 I think is hanging right. They never put the pawn on b6. Pawn's always still on b7. Um, isn't that just a free pawn for me? So I have a knight here, pawn. Okay. Yeah, and this is like to me a pretty easy position to play blindfold because I trade off most of the pieces. Not to say I won't make a blunder still, but I think I've solved most of the. I mean, I think it should be like sort of easy to play. Just want to confirm the b pawn is on b7. I don't think the b pawn has moved in this game. Okay, so we'll take the pawn. Oh, I missed this move completely. Oh no, no, no! I missed this completely. Bummer. I totally missed that move. Okay, that's unfortunate. F5 was half open, huh? Because when they played F4 and I took and they took back with the bishop, that created a half open F file. Okay, totally missed that. All right, so I think we go H3 here. Try to kick away the defender of the rook, and if they go knight E3, I think we just take and here, and I still think this B2 pawn is hanging. I still think this position is very playable for white, but yeah, I mean missing rook takes F2 was unfortunate. Hmm. I thought my knight on b5 would be a better piece, to be honest, but it hasn't really panned out that way. What about after knight e3, rook e1, rook takes g2 check, king h1, rook e8. All right, so okay, let's go h3 here. Okay, did go knight e3, like we were talking about. Sneaky. Yeah, this rook takes g2 line is just super complicated to calculate in a blindfold game. Hmm. I'm very happy with my quality though in general. I mean, I haven't made any big blunders. Like, have you seen any of my previous games where I'm playing some very weird moves? It's because I've been playing blindfold chess and making so many bad moves. Um, yeah, when the knight gets to b2, it also hits the c4 pawn, which is defended by the rook. But I don't want my rook to just be defending pawns if possible. I want my rook doing something more fun than that. And this e4 pawn is a pass pawn. All right, so I think we take. So take on d1, of course. I think I go king e2. After we're done, I might use this chessboard to sled around town. Well, that's nice of you. All right, let's go king. And if they get a rook to f8, that's going to be a very good piece for black. I don't know, it's going to be an open file there. This knight is very, very well played from black here. Rook d. Okay, I was not expecting that move at all. I was definitely expecting. I was definitely expecting knight takes b2. Yeah, rook d8 is a very surprising move to me. Very surprising. Um, is it endgame winning for me? So let's say I go um, rook to d8. Okay, rook takes, pawn takes, knight takes b2, d6, king f8, or king f7, d7, king e7. Okay, so that doesn't quite work. Okay. The knight's a little bit stuck though, right, with the king on e2. What if I just go? I can't go rook c2. I have this pawn here. Yeah, these pieces haven't coordinated very well for me here. Maybe knight c3. I don't know if I love getting the double pawns, but my rook is very active on c5 there. I'm attacking this pawn. Also, am I hitting the pawn on h5? I am hitting the pawn on h5, but there's still a pawn on g6, so I can't take. Okay, so let's try. Yeah, let's try bringing the knight back. If they take on b2, I think I can play knight takes e4. That should be okay, I believe. Okay, so we'll go knight c3, b6. Okay, another annoying tempo they're picking up here. B6. Okay, now I think I can go rook d5, because now if they take, knight takes d5, knight takes b2, knight takes b6, and I'm defending the c4 pawn, which is nice. So I think I'll go rook d5 here. Oh no, hold on. Hold on. No, I'm still okay here. I thought they removed the defender. I still have another defender here. Okay, I'm okay. Here, rook c8. Okay. Okay, I panicked there for no reason. We're still in the game here. So we're even pawns. Okay, so what's going on here? So we have pawns on here, 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 here for white. So we have 5 pawns. Black has pawns on a5, e6, e4, g6, and h5. And my rook is on d5. So at first I wanted to play c5, which I still think might be a playable move. But I think rook d4 makes a little more sense. Just attack the e4 pawn and then kind of force their rook back to e8. So let's go with that. I think let's go rook d4. Okay, rook f8. I don't get that at all. Isn't this just a free pawn for me? King on e2 is very active. Yeah, this is looking very promising for me. Okay, take that pawn. g5. Okay, so they have pawns on g5 and h5, and they have pawns on b6 and a5. What if I go c5? Can I go c5, take, and then rook e5, and then I'm like attacking all the black pawns on the fourth rank here? That seems interesting. And yeah, also, I mean, the double pawns aren't ideal, so I don't think it would hurt to give back one of those pawns. Okay, let's try this idea. Okay, so take. Okay, and their king's still on g8, rook on f8. Okay, this all looks good. g4. Okay, now it's just I have my pawn on h3. Does pawn getting to g3 do anything? I don't believe so. Still have a pawn on g2 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we'll take on c5. My pawns are still on c3 and a2. So then we're attacking this pawn, or if we take this pawn, then we're attacking a5 and h5 still. King h7. Okay, yeah, this is looking very good. The computer is definitely running out of ideas here. So I get to take on h5 with a check, and I can take on g4 and defend my rook. Problem is they never resign in this. It'd be nice for them to just resign, but yeah, it's good though. It's a good test for me. So we'll take, defend the rook. So we still have the rook on f8. Okay, they went pawn to a4, which makes sense. All right, how do we win this now? So now we're up 3 pawns. This should be a very easy win. So they have the pawn on a4. I have a pawn on a2. I have a pawn on c4. I have a pawn on g4 and g2. So I'm up 3 pawns. My king is on e2. Do I just push here? I think I can just start pushing the c pawn. I don't love blocking my rook, but I think my king is active now. I can just start. Oh no, my pawn's still on c3. Hold on. Yeah, let's start pushing now. c4. That's a good move. Oh, that's a good move. I missed that. Oh, that's a very good move. Very good move. Oh, that's a mistake for me. Take on g4. Okay, now my rook is hanging, so I have to do something about that. So we'll go rook to a5. They want to take on g2. Okay, go king h6. Um, I can just take on a4 because my pawn is here, right? So why they go king h6? That move doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I have a pawn on c4, king on d3. Let's just, yeah, why not just take now? So now they have no pawns. Okay, go king g7. You're strong. Thank you. Okay, go rook a7. Check. King f6. Can we just start pushing? It seems like we just start pushing, but maybe I should run my king around the pawn so the pawn gives my king some shelter. Maybe it's the better idea. Okay, so let's do that. This way I can get my king involved in the attack. Rook g5. Okay, my rook is still on a7, right? Okay, so go king b4. Okay, took on g2. I think because I have no other move really. Okay, let's go c5 now. Start pushing. c2. Where's their king at? Their king is on f6, so it's still a little bit away from the pawn. I was surprised they didn't give a check here because I miscalculated something. If I go here, they could take, which I saw this. I didn't see they could take the pawn because what I've been calculating is my rook is defending the pawn in the lines. So I did miss that. Okay, so rook c2. Yeah, I think just king b5 makes a lot of sense here. King e6. Okay, so we'll get the side opposition here. Hopefully some students remember this concept of the side opposition. Rook b2. Okay, now I can go. So rook b2, they release the tension on my c5 pawn, so I can just push my king up now. Rook c2, okay, push here. And if they go king d5, I have rook a5 check, which is what they did. Rook a5 check. Okay, king d4. So now I can put my king on the d file. My king's gonna have shelter here, which is nice. Here. Rook d2. Okay, rook d2 is nice, but I don't think this should be too problematic. So my pawn is already on c6, so we'll push c7. Where's my rook at? My rook's on a5, right? Rook on a5, king d4. So, okay, so I can't play rook d5. They'll just take. Okay, so we're going to go c7. I feel like I'm just like one move away from winning, like just the game being over, but I don't see exactly what I should do. Okay, go c7. Okay, king e4. I'm surprised I went king e4. Okay, now I can build the bridge, right? So I can go king b7. Where's my king at? King's here. Okay, I can go king c6, I should say. And if they go rook c2 check, I have rook a5. King f3. Okay, so now they're panicking. Yeah, I like how it doesn't even let you know, like, even you can't even see the piece again. That's kind of funny. Okay, rook a5. Okay, they want to make it tricky. Okay, so their king was on f3, right? Okay, so we'll go. I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little bit lazy here, to be honest. But okay, we'll go queen f8 check. King e3. Okay, we can force. We can create a skewer here with queen h6. Yeah, why not just do that? Queen h6. King e2. Here. can just force the rook trade if I want. I feel like there's probably better. This is kind of a little bit of a chicken move, but let's go here. Just force the rooks off. Then I could checkmate with king and queen, or I could ladder mate. I can get another queen here. Where's my king? My king's on c6, right? Okay, we'll go get another queen. Just make sure we don't stalemate here. Yeah, we'll do the ladder mate here. Actually, we'll just do the king and queen versus king. So notice I'm checkmating in knight shapes here, just to take away space. If I go here, it's a stalemate, so don't do that. So I go queen d2. King has to go back and forth, and then I just get my king to b3 and then give a checkmate here. King was already on c6, sorry. King a1, and then I have 5 checkmates here. I can go b2, b1, c1, d1, or e1. Let's go queen b2. I think this is, I don't know why I'm choosing this square, but looks good. Yeah, that was nice. So 72 moves. I think the pressure of making a video helped me, because I don't think I played as well as I played this game. I still feel like there's a lot of stuff that's really foggy in my mind, to be honest, and I'm not super happy about that, because yeah, it'd be nice if I could really picture the whole board in my head, which I'm a little bit out of practice again. I don't feel like I fully can do that at the moment, but I'm generally pretty happy with this game. I don't know how much of analysis I want to do. Like, yeah, if you want to analyze the game, then of course you're welcome to. I will put the pieces back on. Open a new tab. All up here. Refresh this. Pieces should be back now. So what I have 3 great moves. That's pretty good. Bishop. Oh, I like bishop d2. Yeah, like seeing this, it doesn't like, that's not fully what I was seeing in my mind. I didn't see all, I couldn't really see the whole position, to be honest. So I think with like a little bit more practice, though, I do think I can get very good at this. I like the c5 rook e5 plan. I'm pretty happy about this, to be honest. Yeah, I missed rook f4. That was the move that I wish I had seen. I'm surprised the engine doesn't like rook a5. I don't really understand why it wouldn't like rook a5. It just looks to me like a free pawn. Oh, maybe if they play a3 and if I take, they could skewer. That might have been an interesting try for the computer. Very possible I would have missed this. So luckily that did not occur. And yeah, here we sort of got into like almost like Lucina position territory, I would describe it. Yeah, sort of. I was sort of put in that category. And then I'm sure there was faster mates. Like I said, rook to d5 was kind of a little bit of a chicken move. There's probably much better. Yeah, the engine shows a main 3 here. But blindfold, this is kind of very easy way to win the game. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Again, the point of the video is to try to inspire you to maybe think about playing some blindfold chess. You might not be great at it at first. I think even though I've done this a lot, I'm not great at it either. But yeah, it's fun, and in my opinion, it really will help you become a better chess player if you can visualize the board better. So that's yeah, definitely a reason why I wanted to make the video, to try to maybe inspire some people to give it a try. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, have a nice break. If some of the students, if I don't see you, before the end of the year, have a nice holiday, and thanks for watching.